and we are always excited to see you all in the webinar joining and see your questions, your enthusiasm that you all put in. It's always fantastic. We can see Geeta ma'am from Pankab, okay, International School. I suppose that's a typo error, ma'am. Rajni ma'am, Jai Shri Krishna ma'am. Thank you so much for joining the session, teachers.
Ma'am, teachers can unmute themselves.
Yes. Teachers, you can unmute yourselves and you can also turn on your cameras. Let us know how are you liking these webinars that we are organizing for you every week. I think already some teacher has turned on their mic. It would be great, teachers, if you turn on the cameras as well. We would like to know the feedback from you all. How are the webinars going, ma'am? What are the things that you are liking the most and what you want us to do more into, I mean, improvement that we can do in our webinars? Any teacher who would like to speak and tell us? I can see a lot many teachers joining from Punjab, Delhi. That's wonderful.
जय श्री कृष्णा मैम।
जय श्री कृष्ण रजनी मैम, कैसी हैं आप?
बस मैम हम बढ़िया, आप कैसे हो?
जी मैं भी बढ़िया हूँ मैम, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर आस्किंग। स्कूल स्टार्ट हो चुकी है मैम आपकी?
नो मैम,
अभी तक वेकेशन चल रहा है?
यस मैम, अभी वेकेशन चल रहा है।
ओके ओके, तो थोड़ा सा समर और थोड़ा सा मॉनसून एंजॉय कर रही हैं आप, राइट?
यस मैम।
ऑल राइट। आपने वेबिनार्स अटेंड किए मैम?
यस मैम, सभी वेबिनार्स अटेंड किए थे। और जो अभी लास्ट क्लास में आपने जो मिट्स वाला पढ़ाया था ग्रेड 8 का, तो वो भी लर्न करा था। वो भी एक बार मोबाइल पर भी किया था, लैपटॉप पर भी उसको प्रैक्टिस किया था, तो वन प्रोजेक्ट तो कंप्लीट हो गया था।
दैट इज रियली नाइस मैम। आपने MIT मतलब फोन पे भी रन करके देखा?
यस मैम, मैंने फोन पे भी रन करके देखा।
बहुत बढ़िया मैम। कैसा रहा एक्सपीरियंस, आपको कैसा लगा?
मैम बहुत अच्छा लगा।
एप्लीकेशन जब बनता है और आप आपके फोन पर जब दिखता है एक्चुअली, तब अच्छी फीलिंग आती है, राइट?
स्कूल भी गए थे तो मैम जो अपने पास उसके जो वीडियोस हैं, हमने उस वाले वीडियो को में जाके आप ही की जो वीडियोस है उसमें, तो वीडियो को जाके एक बार उसको देख के फिर वापस कंटिन्यू कर लिया था।
हाँ, उसमें आपको पूरा टेस्टिंग कोडिंग सब कुछ मिल जाएगा मैम, तो आपको आराम से आप कर पाएंगे, राइट? ICSE और CBSE के दोनों वीडियोस आपको अवेलेबल हो गए होंगे शायद डमी अकाउंट्स में, राइट? वंडरफुल मैम, वंडरफुल। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर शेयरिंग योर फीडबैक रजनी मैम। और आप इतना इंटरेस्ट से हर वेबिनार ज्वाइन कर रही हैं और हर चीज प्रैक्टिस कर रही है, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट एज वेल।
मैम लास्ट ईयर में 1 से 5th ही कंप्यूटर पढ़ाती थी
जी।
इस सेशन में मैम 6 to 8 है, तो थोड़ा सा मेरे लिए न्यू है। वैसे मेरे पास मैंने डिजाइनिंग किया है, लैंग्वेजेस मैंने पढ़ा था, लेकिन मैम वो बहुत पहले पढ़ा था, 2012-13 में पढ़ा था, तो थोड़ा भूल भी गई थी, प्रैक्टिस भी नहीं रहा था। तो अब ये थोड़ा सा न्यू भी लग रहा है, लेकिन हाँ ओके कर लेंगे। और कुछ भूल भी जाएंगे तो वो पीछे वाले वीडियोस को देख लेंगे।
बिल्कुल मैम, आपके लिए वीडियो ट्यूटोरियल्स है और हम हर हफ्ते आपके लिए वेबिनार्स तो लेके ही आ रहे हैं, राइट? तो आपको ढेर सारे रिसोर्सेस अवेलेबल है और आपको कोई भी प्रॉब्लम्स आप फेस कर रही हैं, लेट अस नो, वी विल बी देयर टू हेल्प यू आउट मैम।
यस मैम, नहीं कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है मैम, और कुछ वीडियोस देख के हो जाता है। यस मैम।
Great. Thank you so much for sharing your feedback, Rajni ma'am. And we'll continue in the session further. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any other teacher who would like to share their feedback? जानकर बहुत बहुत खुशी हो रही है कि आप लोग इतने सारे नंबर, मतलब बड़े नंबर पर ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं और इतने सारे वेबिनार जो हम कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं उनका भी आप लोग पूरा मतलब अच्छे से एडवांटेज ले रहे हैं। दैट इज रियली नाइस टीचर्स। सो आई सपोज वी कैन स्टार्ट। अक्षया, shall we begin?
Yes, please.
Right. All right. Thank you so much for the confirmation. So let's get started, teachers. आज की session में हम क्या करने वाले हैं? Let us understand that also. We will be going ahead with Google Sheets. So I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know if you are all able to see. You can give me a thumbs up or you can also put the message in the chat. I would like to see that as well. Good evening to all the teachers who've just joined, and I welcome you all to the session. Another webinar for Google Sheets here. Let's proceed, teachers. Let's see what we are having for today. So we are going to discuss about Google Sheets. Now, you might have already seen the techie curriculum. Some of you might have already started taking the classes, right? So let's get to the practical part of it. Let's understand what Google Sheets are and what are the different projects that we are going to discuss in today's webinar. All right, teachers. So let's get started. Very first thing, we will know what are spreadsheets. Then we will be creating projects using Google Sheets. There are 3 different projects that we would be discussing. Project 1, 2, 3. I'll be revealing their names too. So let's move further and go ahead. So here, first let's talk about spreadsheets. Now teachers, I hope all of you understand Hindi. You can give me a thumbs up. Most of you available here are, Hindi speaking people, right? Okay, right. So teachers, आप लोगों को आपके स्टूडेंट्स के रोल नंबर्स, नेम्स, ये सब कुछ याद होते हैं हमेशा? डू यू रिमेम्बर दैट ऑल ऑफ दैट एवरी टाइम? हर बार पॉसिबल होता है हर क्लास में, राइट? चेतना मैम सेज नो, बिल्कुल. और मैम इतना सब कुछ मेमोराइज करना भी डिफिकल्ट है, राइट? हम लोग डेफिनेटली रजिस्टर्स मेंटेन करते हैं, राइट? देयर इज एन अटेंडेंस रजिस्टर दैट वी हैव. हर बार वो रजिस्टर में से भी याद रखना पॉसिबल है? इज इट? डेटा तो हम मेंटेन करते हैं, वी मेंटेन एवरीथिंग. स्कूल है तो हर चीज का रिकॉर्ड, हर चीज का डेटाबेस होता है, राइट? But it is difficult to remember those names and the details of the students, right? When it is on paper. But when we have it digitally, that is, we could convert it into a digital format, we will be easily able to save that data, and we will also be able to access it whenever we want. Now, how do we save all of that data? We do it with the help of spreadsheet. Now, spreadsheet is a tool which we can use to organize the data. And again, there will be rows and columns. Just a minute, teachers. Yes. There will be rows and columns to do that, right? Rows means a horizontal arrangement and columns means vertical arrangement. And we can also do calculations in it. You might be feeling it similar to Excel. Yes, it is somewhere similar to Excel also. And the spreadsheet is going to allow us to analyze and visualize the data better. When there is so much of information, how to visualize that also is an important thing. So that is what we are going to discuss in today's session. So let me help you with that. So let me tell you about the different options we have for spreadsheets. There are so many of them. There's Microsoft Excel, there is Open Office Calc, and there is Google Sheets also. So why are we talking about specifically about Google Sheets then, when so many options are available? Let me tell you about that as well, teachers. So first thing, Google Sheets is a free online spreadsheet tool. Now, when it comes to free, I think that's what attracts us the most, right? We wouldn't have to buy a licensed version, just like Microsoft Office, right? We know that's a paid version, and we can access only a few things when it is not a paid version, right? Now, Google Sheets is a part of the Google Docs editor suite. And it is again online application, as we know. So multiple people can work on the same sheet at the same time. Let's say, for example, Sukhmeet ma'am wants to work from Haryana, and Rajni ma'am wants to work from another place. I want to work from Maharashtra. So many people can work on the same sheet at the same time from different locations also. And all we need is we will have to have an internet connection with any device. You can use it on the mobile phone. You can use it on the laptop also. It is easy. It is very, very easy, teachers. And we will understand how to go ahead with the creation of the spreadsheet. So what do we need to do? We will simply open the new tab here. As you can see right now, I'm opening here. If you were logged into the Google Chrome browser, you can simply click these dots here and select Sheets from here, like this. We can select Sheets from here. Yes. So we can create a blank sheet from here. Let's click blank spreadsheet. And this is how the interface will look like. Now you can see there are several things here. One by one, we will try to understand all of them, okay? And we will also understand how to use the spreadsheets. All right. This is how we create. We've understood the procedure, how to create it, teachers. Now, let us understand the different components. First one is the title. As you can see here, this is the title. Then we move on to the next part, that is the menu bar. Okay. Now, menu bar has got several options. There's file, edit, view, insert, and so on. We will be using this menu bar to edit the slide, the Google Sheet here. Then comes the next part, that is the toolbar. This is the quick access toolbar that we have, teachers, where several options are available and we can add more and more things to the sheet. Next is the formula bar. This is where we insert the formula. What is formula and how we are going to use it? We will be discussing that in the next part of the webinar. Next part too, I mean, in a few minutes, we'll be doing that. This is the name box, teachers. We will be discussing this also. This is the name of the cell. So here we can see, first let me tell you the column here. We can see the column names A, B, C, D, and so on. So these are the vertical arrangements, vertical boxes that we see. And then we have the rows. Rows are the horizontal ones. So they are having the numeric value 1, 2, 3, 4. When you see a number, teachers, you can remember those are the rows. And when you see alphabets, those are the columns. So the intersection of the row and column is called as a cell. Wherever we click, that's called the active cell. So for example, say we are having the column A and row number 1. So the cell name becomes A1. This is the cell name, teachers. Cell name is the, or we call it as cell address. That is the combination of the row name and the, column name and row number. Kindly excuse me for the mistake, teachers. Here we can see the cell address. Now moving further, we have the sheets tab. More and more sheets can be added so that we can have multiple types of data here and we can include all of them together in one single Google Sheet. Moving on, let's talk about the projects that we are having. I hope, teachers, the different components that we were talking about the sheet here are clear to you. Any questions from anyone's end? Please let me know in the chat, teachers. Okay, I assume there are no questions here. Okay, thank you, Rajni ma'am. Thank you, Chetna ma'am, for the confirmation. So let's talk about the projects that we are having in today's webinar. First one is the project from topics of grade 5, and we will be having the plant growth tracker. I'm sure all of you might be loving plants, so we definitely like to track their growth, right? So here we have a plant growth tracker. This is just a simple tabular, I would say, representation that we are having, okay? So let's move further and see the second project. Oh, sorry. So here, this is the second project, teachers. It is the student details project. Now, often we are all teachers here, right? We have to maintain so many details of the students, their names, their marks in different subjects, right? The total, the percentage, the result. There are so many things that we need to calculate. We will do that with the help of the second project. This is the project of grade 6. And then the last project is the monthly budget. We all have to do the budget planning, right? So monthly budget is a project that we are having. We can do it for ourselves also, for the students also. And we have this topic in this project in grade 7. So we can see here there are several things that we are going to do. One by one, we will discuss all the projects and we will also try to practice them. Okay, so let's move further, teachers. Are we all set? Should we go further? All right. So here we have our first project, that is the plant growth tracker. I'm sure, teachers, you all love plants and you like to see how every time a new leaf or a flower turns up on the plant, right? It feels so amazing. And that excitement itself is, I would say, so high that it cannot be put in words, right? So let's talk about the plant growth tracker now. What we will be doing here is we will be having different steps here. We will have a blank spreadsheet, which we have already opened. And second one is to name our spreadsheet. Okay, so let's do that. We have already opened a spreadsheet. Let's name. This is where we name it, teachers. So we will use plant growth tracker. This is how we name it. And what we can do is we can insert the data here. Okay, let's, for example, say date. I'm just putting random things, teachers. Right now, we are not, we haven't gone into the project directly. I'm going to share that template also with you. I'm just showing how to enter the data. For example, here we are writing the date. We are writing the, okay, maybe name, class, and roll number. This is the standard thing we all teachers do all the time, right? So let's say we'll write Kimi ma'am's name here. And let's say Kimi ma'am is teaching grade 5. and ma'am's roll number is, okay, because you're a teacher, okay, let's consider as a student only. So ma'am's roll number is 26. This is how we enter the data, teachers. We will simply click here, and whenever we want to move into the sheet, what we'll simply do is we can click on the cell wherever we want, okay, and we can also use the keyboard here. Up arrow to go upwards, down to go down, right arrow to go towards the right, and left arrow to go towards the left. This is how we can directly start navigating in the Google Sheet here. I hope, teachers, this is clear, right? So let's move further and see what we have next in our project. So we have already entered the data, right? We will also understand how to enter numbers as text. We will enter date and time, and we will also learn undo and redo. After that, we will learn copying, moving, and deleting cell data. For that, teachers, I'm going to share a link with you all. Okay, so the link is here. I'm going to share this link with you all. You can all open this link on your side, and even you can start practicing it along with me. This is what will open when you click the link. We are going to create a copy of the document that we have. Okay, this is the project one, teachers, we are having. Our team has also shared it with you. You can go ahead and open the link. So let's create a copy of this sheet. Let's create a copy. So we got here already copy of plant growth tracker. So you can see the data has already been entered here. Okay, now we will rename this. You don't want copy of, we will just remove this copy of part and press enter. As you can see here, teachers, the sheet is getting saved automatically. We wouldn't have to save it manually every time. Here, once you click the cloud, you can see the document status. All changes are saved to the drive. Drive means the Google Drive. Okay, and it is clearly here. You wouldn't have to click the save button every time like we do it in Microsoft Excel. Okay, so everything is saved, and the data is automatically available here for us through the template. I hope, teachers, all of you are using the template that we have shared in the chat. Okay, in case you're facing problems, please let us know. Okay, so here, what we will do is we will enter the data here. That is, we will write day 9 maybe, and then let's say our plant grows to maybe 41 centimeters, right? And we will also consider the date that we want here. Okay, so let's say we want to enter the date as, we have entered here, teachers, 41. Okay, as you can see, by default, it was a number, so it was aligned on the right hand side, towards the right hand side. But when we want to enter the number as text, how does it work? Let's write it here. Maybe we will put that in quotes, and let's write here 56 and close the quotes. And then if we press enter, you'll see that the text is aligned towards left. Okay, this is because this is now treated as text. When we put that in quotes, it is treated as text, but we do not use the quotes. I'll show it to here in the next cell itself. Let's write 85 and press enter. You can see automatically 85 goes to the right hand side of the column. Correct? I hope, teachers, this is clear. Any questions regarding the alignment, left alignment and right alignment? Any questions that you would like to ask? All right. Okay, so let's move further. Teachers, I hope the pace is fine. We aren't going too fast or too slow. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Neha ma'am, Chetna ma'am, Kimi ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so we have learned how to enter the data as text also. We put it in quotes and it is treated as text. So let's delete these. All right. Now it's time to enter the date. Usually what we do is we put slashes in the date, or we put dots, or we even put dash, as you can see here, right? Now let's say we will put this as 9th of September 2024. Okay, we have done this. Now the date is entered. What if we want to change the format of the date? How do we do that? We will simply click here and then go to data, format, number, and we'll go down and we'll go to date. So we are going to set the date, teachers, and we will be setting the custom date here. Okay, so format, select the cell, format, number, and we'll go down. and we'll select custom date and time. Okay, so here we can set the date the way we want. If we want the month first, the day after that, it is usually different countries follow different date formats. What we follow in India is DD, MM, YY. Correct? So we can change it if we want. We can have the date here first or the month. That's completely up to us. Okay, so let's go for day as full name. We can have it this way also, Tuesday. Year, if you want to have it 2-digit or even 4-digit, that can be done. And month, if you want to have it with the name like this, we can go for this one also. So the day becomes this one. Let's choose this format and apply. So we can see it became 9th September 2024. We can, 24 only, because we have selected 2-digit format. We can change it to 4-digit also. That is completely allowed. Now, let's go for the next part here. We will also understand how to change the settings here. Okay, now we wanted to make some difference here. Let's say this is something I don't want. We'd want to undo that style. I want to put it in the numeric value again. So what we will do is we will simply click this undo button. Now there are 3 methods, teachers. You can either press this tool, undo. Okay, undo will undo that action. And if we click redo, it will do the same action again. This is one method. We click these tools here and we do the undo redo. The other one is to click edit and click undo. This is other option, edit and redo. Okay, so we are undoing and redoing the same thing again and again. So here, this is the second method. Third method is we directly use the keyboard shortcuts. So Control Z, you can see again the same thing. And if we do Control Y, it will redo that action. I hope, teachers, this part is clear to you all. Any questions from your side, teachers? Anything that you would like to ask? I hope you are finding it very similar to Microsoft Excel. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, teachers. Now, let us understand the very, I would say, handy tool that we have, and that is cut, copy, paste. Okay, so cut, copy, paste, how do we do it? So first thing, we will copy. Now, we would like to copy the data from here. That is 22 or maybe day 3. Okay, so what we will do is either we select the cell and right click and then copy. Here we'll click and we will right click and paste. Okay, copied as it is. This is called as copying, teachers. Okay, first one that we did was select the cell, copy and paste it as it is. Now we would like to do the next thing. Here we can click the cell, click the edit menu and copy, select the cell and click edit and then paste it. Copy, paste. It's doing the same thing. You use the shortcut using the right click, or we can also use the keyboard shortcuts. I'll show you the other one. Click the cell, press Ctrl C, and here we select the cell and press Ctrl V. Copy and pasting, right? This is a very handy thing, teachers. No matter which application you are using on the computer, it's always easy when we use copy paste. Okay, this is done. Now let's do the next thing. We want to move the data. Move means you are taking it from one place and placing it to the other location. Correct? Simply, it's like this. We use the data from one place, place it to the other. I'm changing the location of the data. Okay, so how do we do that? We will use cut and paste like this. So the entire data from the cell is moved. I'll show it to you again. Let's press undo. We can also use the shortcut keys, that is Control X and Control V. So the data is moved. We are moving it from its original location to another. That's called the moving of data. Okay. And now we want to move this day 5 to the original position. Again, Control X and Control V. We can do this. Or you can also use the edit menu, teachers, and that can also be, that will also do the same thing. All right. Now, to delete the data. To delete, it is very, very easy. We'll click the data here, click the cell wherever whichever you want to delete, and simply press the delete button on your keyboard. Delete or backspace, both of them will work. Or you can also click this right click and delete, or we can also delete cells. Sorry, delete cells is something we will go for the other one. I mean, we'll do it in the next project. We can directly use the delete button. Gitika ma'am, will we get a certificate for this webinar? I think our team will answer this question in a few minutes, teachers. Akshaya, if you could take this up. All right. Here, we were
Yes.
deleting the data.
Oh, we don't have. Sorry.
This question from Gitika ma'am, are the teachers going to get a certificate for this webinar?
These are no, ma'am. For this particular this webinars, we are not providing. In case if you require, you can please let the SSM know. They will reach out to us.
All right. I hope Gitika ma'am, Akshaya has already answered your question. All right. So moving on, teachers, I hope this project is clear to you. Anyone has got any question regarding this project? Wasn't it easy and quick? Right? We did it in just a few minutes, and it was, I mean, a basic thing that we understood, that is how to enter the data, how to enter numbers, text, and also how to cut, copy, and paste. That is copying the data, moving the data, and deleting the data, right? So teachers, can we proceed for the next project? Or should we have a quiz before that? What do you say? Let's go for the quiz questions first. Okay. So here are the questions, teachers. I hope you are all ready. I'm not getting any response in the chat. I hope all of you are available here and I'm not disconnected from the meeting yet. Okay. So the first question is, the type of data we store in a cell is called as data type, text, or number. What is it exactly, teachers? Wonderful. Okay, I'm getting a direct answer also. It's option A, data type, right? That's correct, teachers. Data type is the correct answer. Yes, it is called the data type. Whatever type of data we are entering in the cell is called as data type. Let's go to the second question. It's a true-false question. So by default, text is left aligned in a cell. Is it true or false? Text is left aligned or right aligned? Okay, yes, the answer is, okay, I'm getting answer from a lot of teachers saying false also. Okay, let's find out. By default, text is left aligned. Yes, this question has gone wrong. It's the correct answer should be true here, teachers. Okay, most of you have already answered. It is left aligned. The data which is aligned on the right hand side, that is the number by default. Okay, I'm really sorry for this mistake here. Let's move further and see the next question, which is, dash helps you to cancel the effect of the last action that you performed. Undo or redo? Last action that you performed. Okay, let us find out. Some teachers are saying undo, some are saying redo. Let's find out the correct answer. Yes, it is undo. That is option B. We are doing the same action again. Okay, I mean, revert the action. Yes, that's called undo. When we do it again, that is called redo. All right, teachers. Okay, the next question. Dash involves in relocating data from one cell or group of cells to another. Is it moving data or deleting data or copying data? What should be the correct answer, teachers? Moving. Thank you so much for answering, Maninder ma'am. Maninder ma'am was fastest finger first, I would say. Right. Thank you so much, teachers. There are so many teachers answering the question. That shows how much enthusiasm you're putting it in the webinar. Thank you so much, teachers. Let's move further and see the next part now. That is the next project. Now we are going to create a table here with the name student details, which will have the details of the students in subjects, various subjects. That is, their marks details will be available here. We will have English, Hindi, Maths, Science, and Computer Science. Okay, so for this also, teachers, we are going to have a template. I'm going to share that template with you. And in this project, we will understand how to enter the data again. And we'll change the column width, row height. We will also change the, we'll also know how to insert cells, columns, and rows. And also we will understand what is formatting in Google Sheets, how to make the sheets better. Then we will understand how to freeze rows and columns. So here is our link that I'm sharing with you all. I'm also clicking this template here. This is the second project that we will be doing, teachers. I hope it's visible to you in the link. Akshay, if you could share the link multiple times, please. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chetna ma'am. I'm glad that you are all enjoying it and also learning at the same time. So what we'll do is, once we click the links, teachers, we will be getting this option to create a copy of the document. Okay. So let's click make a copy. So the copy will be created here. I'll reduce the size of the browser a little bit so that you are all able to see it. Okay, just 1 minute. Yes. I hope it's visible to all of you. Just a minute, teachers. I think there's a little change that we'll have to do. Yes. Okay, so teachers, you are all able to see the table that is available here. Now, what we'll do is we will start making some changes to it. Now, you can first thing that you can see here that the columns are really compact here. What we will do is we will change the column width. How do we change it? Column width, that we will increase the width. Okay, how do we do that? We will click here. You can see when I take the cursor over the border of that cell, over that column, we can directly see this option available here, that is 2 vertical lines with 2 arrows pointed in 2 different directions. Okay, left and right. Now let's drag this and increase the. Gitika ma'am, I would like to mention that for this webinar, you wouldn't be getting any certificates. However, if you need it, please let the SSM of your school know. They will inform us accordingly. And we'll see what we can do, ma'am. All right, ma'am. Okay, let me press undo teachers here. Right. So we can increase or decrease the column width using this handle, as you can see here clearly. Okay, the column height, if you want to increase, the column width, if you want to increase it, we will move towards the right. If you want to decrease, move it towards the left side. All right, teachers. Now, same thing can be done with the row height. You can see the rows are horizontal, right, in nature. So we can increase or decrease the height here. Let me show you how. So right now the height is too much for the row number 2. So let's decrease it a little bit like this. Increase and decrease. We just have to place our cursor below row number 2 and we can see 2 horizontal bars are appearing here. Clicking this, we will be able to increase or decrease the row height. I hope, teachers, it is visible, the difference between column width and row height. I hope it's clear, right? Column width and row height is clear to you, teachers. Any questions from your end? Okay, now let us understand how do we insert cells, rows, and columns. First thing, let's say we want to insert some more data here. Okay, so we want to, can we change all column width at the same time? Yes, Poonam ma'am, we can do that. We can do it from here. We'll select and like this. If we change it for one, it will change for all the others. All we have to do is to select all of them. I'm clicking here. Now what we do is when we click here, this is going to have the, this is the place where we select all the rows and the columns. We can do it directly. We'll click here and we can then move one of them. Automatically, all of them will be adjusted. Same goes for the rows also. We can simply do it this way. Let me select it again. And let's say we increase it. Okay. Like this. You can see all of them increased at once. Okay. So let's undo it and bring it back to the same way again. Now we also discussed, teachers, a few minutes ago how the text is aligned, right? Text is aligned towards the left and the numbers by default go towards the right hand side. Okay. Now let us do the next thing. We will insert some cells into it, cells, rows, and columns. Okay. Now here we want to insert a cell. We'll click here, right click and insert cells. How do we insert? Now there are two options. The existing cell will shift towards the right hand side. That's one option. Or the existing cell will shift towards the bottom. Okay. So let's see how that happens. Let's go for this number 68. Right click and insert cells and shift right. Can you see, teachers? This cell has shifted to the right side. That is, the marks of English have now gone to Hindi, and Hindi to maths, maths to computer, and computer marks are gone outside, right? It's 65. Now let us enter the numbers here. Let's say maybe 76, okay? And we'll press enter, right? This is how the cell is entered. Now, let's say we will create a cell here itself. Let's insert one more cell, but this time we will shift it down, okay? So insert cell and shift down. Existing one will be shifted down. Let's enter the marks as 81 and press enter. So I hope, teachers, it is visible to you the changes that we have made. You can see here we shifted down, hence this number has, this column has extended a bit. The number 90 has gone down. By one cell, it shifts down automatically. If we shift towards the right, all the cells alongside will be shifted towards the right hand side. I hope it's visible, teachers. You are all able to see the change that we have made, inserting cell and row. Cell is what we have seen. Shifting it towards the right hand side, shifting it down. Okay. Now, let us see the next thing. Let's undo these things, okay, so that our table is not spoiled, right? Done. Now, let's insert a row here, okay? After Mridul, let's insert one row. Insert row above or below. Above Mridul's cell, we can insert one row, or we can insert it below also. I'll show you both the options. Below, we have selected above, so the cell has, row has been inserted above Mridul's cell. Now, let's click this again, right click and row below. So, let's do one thing. Yes. Here, two rows, one above Mridul's cell and second one below Mridul's cell, right? Two rows are inserted. This is done, teacher. Same way, we can also insert columns. So, let's see here, we can click any one of the cells. That's not a problem at all. We wouldn't even have to click the column. That's not at all mandatory, teachers. You can click any cell and insert the row or column, whatever is needed. Insert one column to left. So towards the left of the column, the cell has been, column has been inserted. Okay. Now, let's insert one more here. Let's click on this cell and right click and column. Okay, it says column to the left. Okay, this should not be happening. Let's click here and column to the right. You can see one more column has been inserted. You can insert it towards the right, towards the left. All of that is clearly possible, teachers. You can insert right from a cell, row, or column. Any of these is easily possible. I hope, teachers, it is clear to you all. How to insert rows, columns, and cells. All of that is clear. Okay, I would like to, okay, thank you, Kavya ma'am. Okay, now that we have inserted extra cells, columns, and rows, what we will do is we will also delete them. Okay, let's do this. Let's click the row here. We don't want this row, so we are selecting this row from here. Right click and delete row. You can see the row is deleted. Let's do it again, teachers. We can also click the cell, right click and delete row. Even if we click one cell out of that row and we want to delete it, we will simply select it and click right click and delete row. So the entire row gets deleted. Same goes for the column also. We'll click one of the cells in the column, right click and delete column. Entire column gets deleted. If you want to do it the other way, you can select the column like this from the top, like this, and right click and delete column. It will work. Deleting the cell, row, or column is very similar to what we have done while inserting it. The process is pretty much the same. Just the names are different. Insert will insert the cell, row, or column, and delete will delete the row, cell, or column. I hope, teachers, this is clear. Anyone has got any doubt? I think today's topic is super easy. So I think there are no questions coming from your side, right? Thank you, Gagandeep ma'am, Maninder ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Okay, now we have seen how the cells are deleted, inserted, and their width is increased, height is increased. All of that is done. Now let's do the next thing here, that is formatting. Okay, now let's make it more interesting. Okay, how do we do that? Let's click here. maybe this one. Okay, now we will change the font type. Okay, first thing we'll do font type. You can see there are several fonts available, font styles available. So we can choose any one of them. Maybe, okay, why not this one? So it's clearly visible to us. Okay, let's increase the row height a little bit so that it is accommodated properly. I think a little bit more. Yes. Okay, this is done. Now we can also bring it to the center of the table here. That is, on the right hand side, we have the align option. So let's click this and bring it to the center like this, right? It's in the center here, teachers. Let's give it a color if we want. This is the text color option. We select and maybe red color. Okay, right? And then we can also press the plus button to increase the font size here. This is one method, teachers. Or we can also change the number from here. We can select it, make it 12, or we can also manually press this, or we can also type in the number that we want. Let's say we want 14.5 and we press enter. So this is how the size increases, the font size increases. All right. Now let's go for the names of the headings of the column. Okay, these are the different cells that we are going to select. What I've done here is, teachers, we simply click the shift button on the keyboard and press the right arrow to keep selecting the cells which are on the right hand side. So this is how we do it. This is through the keyboard. Okay, we can also do it manually using the cursor like this. Simply drag the cursor slowly and all the cells are selected here. Okay, we are selecting all of them, or we can also select one of them. I'm going to show you one more option here, which we have also learned in Canva. So let's select this and then we will select a font, maybe this one. Let's select the size, that is 12, and let's make it italic. The text color may be green. Okay, I think a little darker would do. Yes. I don't think it's visible to all of you. Maybe blue would be fine. Okay, blue is fine. Now, what we want is, we want the same for English, Hindi, maths, and computer, the same style. Whatever we have done, the font size, the color, the font that we have used, all of that should be used here for the other column names also. How do we do it quickly? What we'll do is, we'll click this name here, the first, the cell that we want the style to be copied. Let's select this and then let's click the paint format. Do you remember, teachers, we used the same one in Canva that was called copy style. So this is the same thing. The name is different, paint format. However, the function is the same one. Okay, so this is copying the style. Let's click paint format and then select this cell. Can you see English has now turned into blue color, right? Same thing can be done. What we will do here is, I'll show you a trick here without even clicking paint format now. How do we do this? Repeat the same action. Can any one of you guess? How do we do this action again? Any guesses, teachers? There's a shortcut to do that. The action that we have just done, it can be done again. Any guesses? We have learned this feature a few minutes ago. Format painting, Rajni ma'am, your answer is correct, but there's one more shortcut. Format painting is correct, ma'am. We have done that. There's one more option that we can use. Whatever action we have done just now, we want to repeat it. Listen to my question again, teachers. Whatever action has been done right now, we want to do it again. Mona ma'am, your answer is partially correct. Opposite of that, I think Komal ma'am has answered redo. That's correct, teachers. We will redo that action. Poonam ma'am, that's correct. Shortcut is Control Y. So we'll click this cell and we will simply press redo. The same action is done again. Okay, let's try it one more time. Click the cell, redo. Click the cell and redo. Correct, teachers? Is it working properly? Isn't this interesting? Right? This is something you'll always get it in our webinars when you find out. I mean, these are little tricks that we often discover. Okay, so let's go ahead and select the next one. Now, let's select the names this time. All the cells, I've told you how to select the cells. Now, let's use another font, maybe this one only, but maybe change the color this time. Okay, so let's use this color, and 11 is okay, correct? So teachers, we are able to see there's bold effect, there's italic effect. You can use any one of these as we require. Okay, so this is how we can format the table or format the sheet and make it look much more interesting. So any questions regarding this project, teachers? Anything that you would like to ask? Anything that you would like to know? Okay, let's move further then. There's one more thing that I would like to tell you, teachers. Here, let's say now I'm increasing the number of, okay, 1 minute. I'll just copy the same text, and here we'll insert row above, redo, and I'm just adding more data to it. Okay, so the same one is getting copied here. Okay, now the reason I've pasted the same data is, teachers, I would like to show you one more feature here which we are having, and that is we would like to see the names of the columns every time. Even if we go down in the sheet, we would still like to see. Now if we are here, we don't know which subjects marks are these, right? How do we then set the screen properly? We can't keep on going to the we can't go to the top every time, and we can't check the names of the subjects. Then what do? We will freeze this row. Okay, so let me show you. Let's select this row and then click view, and then we will select freeze. Okay, it will freeze the row. You can select one row, two rows, or up to row 2. Whichever column or whichever row we want to freeze, we can do that easily here by this option. This option is available in the menu bar in view. Under view, we will select freeze and then up to row 2. Now you can see, teachers, no matter how many times we scroll the sheet, here this entire row, the name, name and the subjects will stay here itself. This is called freezing. We are setting the position of the rows as it is. Even no matter how many times we scroll, the row is not going to move anywhere. Okay, I'll show it to you for a column also. Let's say this column. We'll select the column and then select view, freeze, and up to, or one column is also fine. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, it's merged. Okay, view, freeze, and one column. Okay, so because I've merged these cells, teachers, currently it's not possible. But if you would like to do it for this column, it would be. Let's say I'm entering the name as history. Okay, let's freeze this column, view, and then freeze, and up to this column. Okay, up to this column. The entire sheet has been frozen here. Okay, so you can see here, when we move towards the right hand side, no matter how far we go, you will see that this sheet, this column F does not move. It is now frozen. It will be visible to us all the time, no matter if we move vertically or we move horizontally. This is called as freezing, teachers. Hi, Tabassum ma'am. Thank you so much for joining the session. Okay. Ma'am, I hope you are all you are able to understand what we are doing right now. We are on the second project. We'll soon start with the third project also. Okay. So teachers, I hope the second project is clear to you, the student details project. Any questions from anyone? Anything that you would like to ask, teachers? Okay, I consider that as, thank you, Priyanka ma'am. Thank you, Mona ma'am. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's move to the next project. But before that, shall we have a quiz, teachers? Okay, let's revise whatever we discussed. Okay, yes, perfect. Thank you so much for the response, teachers. This is what we have done, right? So let's, yes. So the first question is, dash sign in the toolbar is used to increase the font size. Option A, option B, or option C? I think the answers have also started coming. It's option B, that is the plus icon. Okay, I think this is wrong. Okay, I'm really sorry for the mistake, teachers. Here, yes, that's option B. Very correct. Okay, what about the next question? Dash makes the data look attractive. Freezing, formatting, or changing? Okay. We can see option. Yes, option B. That is formatting. Correct, correct. Very correct, teachers. Thank you so much for the responses. Let's go for the next question. The next question is, Google Sheets have autosave feature. Is that true, teachers? Does it save everything automatically? Okay, most of you are saying that's true. Very correct. But I have one more question, teachers. Where does it save? I have already shown you where does it save. It saves. Everything is saved automatically. But where does it save? Can any one of you tell me the location? Absolutely correct, Chitra ma'am. That was fastest finger first, I would say. That is the Google Drive or cloud. Yes, Kavya ma'am, your answer is also correct. That is to the cloud. Okay, it gets saved in the cloud. That means, teachers, you are all paying attention to the entire webinar and you are also participating equally. Wonderful. Let's go for the next question. Dash data helps keep it visible while scrolling. Formatting the data helps keep it visible while scrolling. That's right, teachers. It is freezing. Wonderful. So let's go for the next project, shall we? It seems like you are all enjoying and your answers are pouring in so quickly. Let's go for the third project, teachers. That is the monthly budget. Okay, monthly budget, I think we all have to plan all the time. Yes, so let's get started and understand what we are going to do here. This is the project of grade 7, and we will also understand the different concepts that will be here. We have already opened the spreadsheet. We have understood how to enter the data. Now we will be applying the formulas. We will also understand what are functions. We will understand what is grouping and filtering data and charts along with the sheets tab. And then we will also color the sheets tab. I'll explain all the things, teachers. Do not worry at all. I'm copying the link from here and I'll share it with you all, requesting you all to open this sheet, create a copy of it, and then we'll proceed. I'm clicking the link and we'll create a copy. Akshay, you can share the third project link a few times.
Yes, sure.
With the team. Yeah, with the team here. Okay, so let's click here. Teachers, we can see the monthly budget project template is available here. You will simply create a copy of this so that we have all the data entered here. Now, entering data could take a little longer, right? So to avoid that, we have the template ready. We can see mostly all the things are available here. That is house rent, electricity bill, internet bill, and grocery bill, and so many more things, right? All of us have to do all these things every now and then. So let's plan the monthly budget here properly and understand how Google Sheets is going to help us in that. Okay, so very first thing we will do is we will understand how to use a formula here. Okay, so let's say, for example, we want the total of this. Okay, that is the sum. So let's write here total. Okay, and here we will do the total of all the cells. Okay, so what we will do is we will put equal to sign. Remember, teachers, whenever we are using a formula, it's important that we use we use an equal sign. Okay, just a minute, teachers. Yes. So we'll put equal sign here. I'll increase the size of the window for you all. Yes. So equal sign is coming here. Now you can see here, I'm getting an option automatically to give the sum of the entire budget, right? But we don't want that to happen. What we will do is we will put it manually. Okay. So 1 minute. Equal to sign has been put. Then we will select this cell. This cell, we can see that is B3. Teachers, I hope, yes, select the cell range and then enter. Yes, ma'am, that will also do. First, we'll understand how the formula is working. Okay, so we have selected this cell. Then we put a plus sign. Then we will select this cell and again a plus sign and this cell. I think 3 are enough. B3 plus B4 plus B5. Okay, so this is done. We press enter and we get a total of 26,500. Okay, this is the total only for these 3 cells. If you click here, we'll see this formula here equal to B3 plus B4 plus B5. That is, the value has been taken from these 3 cells. Okay, now this is the formula that we have seen, but we already have functions. What you've told, Chetna ma'am, that is absolutely correct. That is the function we can use. Okay, so how to use the functions, I'll tell you that also. But before that, teachers, I have a question for you all. Have you all eaten Maggie? I know this is a weird question, but I would like you all to answer. Have you all eaten Maggie? Maybe a thumbs up or a yes would do. Okay. Okay. You've all eaten Maggie, right? Can you tell me the difference between Maggie and okay, yes, Chetna ma'am, that's yummy. It already, I mean, my mouth already started watering. Okay, you've eaten Priyanka ma'am. I think Priyanka ma'am, I would follow you. I will also eat it today. Okay. So can you tell me the difference between Maggie and the noodles? Noodles, I meant the Hakka noodles. Can you tell me the difference? The Hakka noodles in which we have the vegetables and we have, yes, I think Kavya ma'am has got it. 2 minutes preparation. Priyanka ma'am, that's correct. Making procedure. Now, what we have in a Maggie is, Maggie takes 2 minutes, right? That's a ready to eat thing. We just put in, there are a lot of packs coming in these days where we just have to put hot water into it, right? You might have seen ready to eat food where we just put hot water or we just microwave that food and the food is ready. Whereas there are several options again. There are several meals that we prepare which take a lot of time. So functions are very similar to ready to eat meal, teachers. All we have to do is put the names correctly and we will be able to use those functions. Okay. 2-3 minute Maggie, Hakka noodles, 8 to 10 minutes. Okay, that's right, sir. That's right. Okay. So here, let's move further and see. Now, instead of putting the formula, what we will do is here, we will delete this and we will use the sum this time, what Chetna ma'am had recommended. So we'll put equal to sign and then we write SUM, or we can also press the tab option here. Okay, it will be selected. This was shortcut. What is B3? What is B12? Let us understand. If we click here, teachers, we can see sum and then round brackets are put in. In that, we have the cell range. This range here, from the cell number B3 to B12, all of them had been selected and the sum of all those cells have been put in cell number B13. Okay, when we select several cells, this is called the cell range. As you can see here, now if selecting these cells, the cell range is D4 to D9. D4 is the starting cell and D9 is the ending cell. Okay, here, clearly we can see this, and this cell range is going to help us again further. Now, this is one method to put the sum. I'll show you one more method, teachers. That is, we click here, we click insert, and then we click function. Function, and then sum, like this. Okay. And then we select the cell range. Now, the cell range is this one, B3 to B12. Can you see, teachers, that is coming in dotted lines in orange color? We've selected the first cell, B3. We simply drag the cursor till B12 and the sum of all the cells is present here. Isn't it the same one, teachers? Can you see, once I press enter, we'll get the exact same amount. That is 53,375. Is it clear, teachers? I hope the sum function is clear to you all. How to use it? Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. This was the sum function. Now, let us understand the average also. Okay, so let's type in here average. Let's select average this time. Again, we can use the shortcut also, equal sign AVG. You can see here average is already coming. So we can simply press the tab key or we can accept this also. We'll get the average. There were total 10 items. So the total has been divided by 10 and we got 5,337.5 as the average. We can do it manually also. We click the cell, insert, function, and average. So average, we again select the cell range. We'll select these cells here from B3 to B12 and the average is the same, 5,337.5. I hope, teachers, it is clear. Okay, perfect. Let's move further. Now, if you want to find out the maximum expenditure, okay, so how do we find it? We use the max function here. Okay, so we can also use here equal sign and you can see here max B2 to B12. But we don't want this one. We want it from B3. Okay, so we'll select this. It's anyway showing us the correct one. But what we want is we want it from B3. So we'll select here B. We'll type in B3 to B12, press enter. And we got 21,000 is the maximum expenditure that is going for house rent. Okay. Same way we can find out the minimum expenditure. Let's find out which one is that expenditure. Okay. Let's use it. Let's click equal sign here and type here MIN. And we are getting the suggestion here, that is B2 to B12. Again, we wanted B3. So we'll click here and make it B3 to B12. Okay. Sorry. B3. I think the keypad is locked. Just 1 minute, teachers. B3 to B12. That is the correct cell range. So we'll put here and press enter. So the minimum value is 500. And I suppose that value is for phone recharge. Okay. So we found out the total value, that is the sum of the expenditures, the average, the maximum expenditure, the minimum expenditure. Now let's find out the count of the different expenditures we have. Okay. So let's click here count. Let's type here count, and then we will write here, or we'll insert the formula. Click insert function, and then we'll select count. Again, we'll have to provide a range. So we'll type it here manually, teachers. Let's type B3 colon. Remember, teachers, whenever we are selecting a cell range, it is separated by a colon. That is the first cell address, that is B3 colon, and then the next cell, this last one, that is B12. Okay, so it is separated by a colon. Do remember this, teachers. We'll press enter, and the total count is 10. There were total 10 expenditures that we had in our monthly budget. So it's clear here, we got it using the different functions. I hope, teachers, the functions are clear to you. Any questions that you all have? Anything that you would like to ask regarding the things that we have done so far? Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, I can see so many of you are mentioning that everything is clear. Okay, now let us understand. We have the cells here. We have everything available, but we would like to go beyond this. See, right now you are able to see everything is mixed up, right? We want in a proper sequence. We want to, okay, I would like to give you a few options, teachers. Okay, can you tell me? Okay. You can tell me a few things here. I'm just putting a question for you. So, okay. There are 4 items in front of you, teachers. There's banana, there's red, yellow, and cherry. Okay, 4 things. No, ma'am, but one thing I want to clear. I'm not. Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, ma'am. Really sorry for that. Okay. All right. So we have, it happens, ma'am, in a flow. I'm really sorry for that. Okay. 4 different things, teachers: banana, red, yellow, and cherry. Okay. Now, can you tell me how can we put them in different groups? Or 1 second, I'll change the question. Delete this. Can you all tell me which is the third highest expenditure? Third highest expenditure. Out of these, you can see there's rent, electricity, internet bill, grocery bill, there's phone recharge, shopping, healthcare, so much of them. Now, can you tell me the third highest value? The third highest value. I would like to see the answers in the chat, teachers. Please let me know which is the third highest value. I hope I'm connected in the meeting, teachers. Okay. Okay, Komal ma'am says grocery. Chitra ma'am says shopping. Shopping, grocery. I'm getting mixed answers. Shopping. Okay, third highest value. That is 5,000. Okay. Okay. I found it. Yes, I think Poonam ma'am is correct. That is, and Anfal ma'am also is correct. That is the school fee. Okay. Now, teachers, these were only 10 expenditures, and it was still easy to find out which one is the third highest, right? But what if, I mean, imagine there is thousands and millions of numbers that we have in front of us. Then how do we do it? There's an easy technique to do that. We will sort this, and then we will be able to see the expenditures in a proper way. Okay, what we'll do is we will click here, or we'll select two columns, that is column A and column B, and then, or we can also select these, all of these, and then we will click data, and we will click sort range. We will, one second, data, sort range, and then we will select sort range. We will sort the range by column B, because column B is having the value. What will happen is, if we select column A, then the names will be put in an order. Okay, it will be sorted in an order, that is A to Z or Z to A, that is ascending or descending order. Now, what we will do is we will use advanced range sorting options. Okay, from here, teachers, we will be selecting column B. Column B is to be selected, and we wanted the highest should be at the top and the lowest value should be at the bottom. So we are doing it in a descending manner, hence Z to A. Okay, and then we will select sort like this. Can you see, teachers, along with the names of the items, the amount also has been sorted properly. Not just the amount, the names also are now sorted here. We saw the minimum expenditure was phone recharge, that was 500, has now come to the bottom, and the maximum expenditure, that was house rent, is at the top, right? Has it been sorted correctly, teachers? Is it sorted properly? The amount and the item, these two things. Now, what will happen is, if we only select the amount, only the amount will change. I'll show you. I'll undo this. Here, if we select the amount column only, then you will notice that only the amount shuffles. Let's take a look at it. Sort range and column B, Z to A. You can see only the values are changing, but the items remain the same. I mean, it will shuffle the values, and that will cause discrepancy in the data. That is not we want. That is not, definitely not we want. So we'll press undo, and we will select the item and the amount, both the columns together. And then instead of selecting directly columns A and B, we are selecting only the data that we want to sort. Select the cells, data, sort range, and then select advanced range sorting options. We'll select sort by column B, Z to A, and then click sort. Okay, so everything is now sorted here, right? It is sorted in a descending order. Okay, teachers. I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay, perfect. Now let's go for the next thing. Can you all tell me two values which start with 5? Two values that start with 5. Can anyone tell me? Any one of you, can you answer, teachers? Okay. Or we'll see an example for that. Just 1 minute. Let's go down. Shopping and school fee. Okay, okay. I'll show you one thing, teachers. Okay. You can see two different pictures here, right? Can you tell me the difference between two pictures? Okay, you can see, okay, Kamya ma'am says school shopping, recharge, school fee and shopping. Okay, your answers are quite close, teachers. I would like to help you understand this concept here. Can you tell me what is the difference between two pictures? We have food on one, we have food in the other one also. What is the difference? Sorting of food. Okay, Poonam ma'am, your answer is partially correct. Sorting of food, ma'am, I'm looking for a more, specific term. We get all the items. Yes, Anpal ma'am, definitely. It's monsoon, so all of us would like to have nice sizzling snacks, separate by their special taste. Okay, Chitra ma'am, that's one thing. Mona ma'am says classification, rating of food. That's the correct answer, Komal ma'am and Poonam ma'am. It is the ratings. according to the ratings of the food have been grouped together here. You can see 4.5 Rajma Chawal, Malai Kofta, and Korma. Then in 4, we have Samosa, I think that's Vindaloo, and the third one is butter chicken, right? So based on their, yes, I think Geeta ma'am answered it correctly, categories or grouping. This is called grouping. We put similar items or similar things that are related to each other in a group, right? So that's what we will do here in the sheet also. We will put them in group. As you can see here, shopping fee, school fee or shopping fee, right? So we'll group them together. How do we do it? We will select the 2 cells, right click, without right clicking. Here we'll go to view, we'll click group and group rows 5 and 6. So those will be put in a group. Okay. Now, here, if we want to see that group, we will click, if we want to hide that group, we will click this minus sign like this. If we want to see that group, we will click the plus sign. Hide and unhide options are there. Okay, so grouping is going to help us put them together based on a specific criteria. Now, there is one more thing that I would like to tell you all. That is, okay, let's go to the sheet for that. Slides for that. Okay, now, it is going to help us put the similar things together. Okay. Now there is one more concept that I would like to tell you all, and that is, okay, here we'll find an item that will be specifically for maybe somewhere near 3,000. Can you tell me which item is it? Can you all tell me, teachers, which item is it? Similar to, somewhere close to 3,000. Take a look at the sheet and tell me which item. Okay, health emergency. Okay, healthcare, closer to. Yes, now this is something, correct. Here it is emergency. I think Geeta ma'am answered, Sukhmeet ma'am, Saroj ma'am also answered. Now, what I said was closer to 3,000. I did not say exact 3,000 or it should be 2,700, right? So what we are doing is we are putting a criteria for it. And that is, there is much more easier way to do it. That is with the help of filtering. What will filter do is we put in a criteria here, and accordingly that amount of data will be available for us. Okay, how do we do it? Here, whatever criteria we are putting, let's say it should be close to 3,000 is what I said, right? That is the criteria we put in, and that is how we get the answer here. Okay, now this filtering is going to help us to focus on the information that we need. Whatever extra information is there, that will be present, but it will be hidden. It will be hidden for as long as you want. Okay, and this is where it is going to help us find the specific data, find the specific information that we need. Currently, teachers, as you can see, there are only 10 items. So that is easier to find out, right? But when it is thousands of numbers, then how do we do that? We will apply the filtering technique here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's again select the cells, item and amount both. We'll select both the columns, not the entire column, but we will select only the data that we want to be filtered. Okay, selected. Then we will click data and we will click filter, create a filter. Okay, you can see here, teachers, take a close look at this. You will see that 3 horizontal lines, decreasing horizontal lines are available here. That is green lines. That means the filter has been added. This is the filter symbol. Okay, teachers, the filter has been added to both the columns, that is item and amount. Okay, now let us apply a filter here. We want it for the amount. Okay, so here we will filter by condition. Let's click filter by condition, and the value has to be greater than or less than. That's our choice. Let's click filter by condition and greater than or equal to. Okay, let's do this, greater than or equal to. So let's make it 2,500, whatever is going to come. Let's choose that. And let's click OK. Okay, so this is filtered. I think 1 minute. Filter by condition. Again, let's apply it properly. Greater than. Maybe we'll put a value here. Oh, sorry. I entered it at the wrong place. I did not enter the formula here after greater than. So it should be 2500. And then we'll go down and click OK. All those values that are greater than 2500 will be visible here along with their item. That is, anything that was below that, it will be hidden. It is still there in the sheet, but it is hidden because we have applied this filter. I hope, teachers, the filter symbol is visible to you all. That is showing. I'll zoom it a little bit. You can see this is the filter we have applied for the amount here. Okay. If you want to again add more filters, that can easily be done. All right. So let's make it smaller. Yes. I think this can be increased. This is enough, right? So I hope, teachers, the filtering technique is clear to you. Sorting, grouping, and filtering. Are all these things clear to you, teachers? Any questions regarding these? Sorting, filtering, and grouping. Any questions related to these things? Okay, let's move further and understand why we are talking about filtering and grouping and what is the difference between these two. These two might look similar, but they are a bit different. What are they? Let us understand. Just 1 minute. Yes. So you can see, teachers, filtering data. Now, what does it mean? It is going to display specific data. Okay, whatever criteria we are setting, if it is greater than 200, greater than 300, less than that, a specific date we want, all of that can be set. Based on that, we are filtering the data. Okay, and when we say grouping the data, grouping means more of organizing the data. Now, there could be any common factor. Whenever you talk about clothes, you group them based on their colors, you group them based on the material that has been used, right? The fabric that is being used. So that is called as grouping. Now, when we talk about filtering, it means it will hide the rows. Hide the rows, whichever, now we saw here a few minutes ago, whichever rows or the columns that are not matching the criteria were hidden, right? They are still there. They are just hidden. Okay. Now, here, when we talk about grouping, it is going to help us collapse the details. That is this one. We can hide the details. We can open it. This one will also, hide and unhide, but this is creating a summary here. Okay. Let's talk about the next difference. That is, whenever we want to focus on specific information, we will use filtering. And when we want to see patterns and categories, I think one of you answered categories, right? So that is called as grouping the data. I hope, teachers, it is clear, right? Grouping, sorting, and filtering. These three things are there. I hope all of that is clear to you. All right, fantastic. Let's move to the next part of the project, teachers, that is charts. Now, you might have all seen definitely such kind of things. Often we visit the weather channels or we use the weather reports these days to plan our schedule, right? So the charts, they are just like pictures. They are visual representation of the data. And visual representation makes it much easier to understand the data. If I show you, teachers, there are three options. And if I just say 1, 2, 3, which is better? Which one are you easily able to interpret, teachers? The visual representation or the verbal one? Definitely, it's the visual one, right? I'm sure you all have seen the movie Drishyam, right? 2 October, 3 October, right? It's the visual representation that creates an impact on your brains, right? So these things that we see, there are charts, we often see it during the weather forecast, which is there on the television, right? And also in several presentations, correct? So these charts are very, very useful. And we will also learn different types of charts. First, we can see here there's a column chart which has vertical bars, the bar chart which has horizontal bars. Then we have the pie chart which looks like a pizza, correct? Pizza slices. And then the last one is the line chart where dots are there and are connected with a line. Okay, so we will understand how to create the column chart. Okay, and here there's a very, very easy method to do that. Let me show you how. Okay, so let's press undo here to bring back all the data. We want all the items here. Okay, I'm still keeping it in a sorted manner only so that so that we are all able to see the increase and decrease in the amounts. Okay, so what we'll do is we will select these columns again, not the entire column, just the specific data, teachers, just the specific data that we want in the chart. Okay, so what we have done here is selected it, and then we will click insert and then the chart option. We are selecting chart. Now by default, as you could see, teachers, this is showing us a pie chart. Okay, we don't want a pie chart here. Hence, we will move to the chart editor on the right hand side, and then we will select column chart. From here, we have several options available. So let's select this one. This is the column chart. You can clearly see here how the data is, the representation works here. Now let's move this chart here and resize it. We'll resize it from the corners so that the height width ratio is maintained. Let's keep it here like this. And we can also make the changes to this. Now you can see the horizontal one, that is X axis, has got the different names of the items. You can see it here at the bottom. And the Y axis, that is vertically, you can see the amounts. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's make more changes to it. How do we do that? With the help of the customize button. Let's click the chart style. We can see here chart border color. So let's maybe change it to blue. The border is now changed. It's in blue color. Correct? Let's click the chart again. Right click and let's edit the chart. Okay. So charts, let's go to chart style, and background color also we can change. Let's make it maybe this one. It's visible clearly, right? And we will also give it a 3D effect to make it look attractive like this. Okay. So this is done. We can add, we can make more and more changes here with the font style. There are different things that can be changed, and to make it more attractive, there are several options which can be used, teachers. Okay. So I hope the chart is clear to you. Any questions related to the chart, teachers? To the chart, the column chart we are talking about. Okay, I suppose that's clear, right? Let's move on to the next thing now. Here in the monthly budget itself, we want to add maybe more type of expenditure, or let's say we want to do a yearly budget. Then instead of creating a different sheet, we will directly, Tabassum ma'am did not understand for what, okay, for the questions you said now. Okay, ma'am. Now, instead of creating a separate sheet, what we will do is we will click this plus icon here and simply add one more sheet to this. So this is sheet 2. Here we can have maybe yearly or let's say annual budget, right? This can be the next sheet. Just like this, we can keep on adding more and more sheets so that we can add more and more data and keep everything in one single Google Sheet. All right, teachers. Now, there is more to it. If we want to make it color coded, maybe we want to make it more specific or more interesting, then we can use colors for this. Let's click the sheet, right click, and then we will change color. So color can be any one of these. Red for maybe first sheet. Let's click sheet number 2, right click, change color, and maybe we can have a green color. I hope the colors are visible to you, teachers. I'll just increase the size of the window. Yes, I hope it's visible. It's visible to all of you. Right click and change color. And again, we'll change a color, maybe this one, right? Yes, we also we have to rename all the sheets. That's not a compulsion, ma'am, but yes, if we rename it, that is a better thing because it will be easier to identify. Let's say we rename this one and we name it as monthly budget. That's a good, I would say, habit to rename the sheets. Monthly budget, let's click this one, rename, and this is annual budget, like this. All right. So we can rename the sheets, we can color the sheets tab, and we can also make it more interesting with by adding formatting to it. We can create different types of charts. We can also make changes to these charts. We can customize them as and when we want. I hope, teachers, all of this is clear to you. Any questions from your side? Anything that you would like to ask? Anything that you would like to know, teachers? Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope everything that we just discussed is clear to you all. And you all know, if at all anything you've just missed out, you can watch this video on YouTube on our YOLO app also. YOLO app channel, right? That we have. You can watch it there. And we also have the training in the training tab of your account. We have the courses tab where you'll find the Google Sheets course, and you will also be able to find the videos related to the projects that we have just done. So you'll find me in those videos again. I mean, it'll be a familiar face for you, right? So thank you so much, teachers. I hope all the questions, all the topics that we have discussed are clear to you, right? And I request you all to fill out this feedback form that the team is sharing with you all. You can fill that up and let us know how and what you feel about the webinar that we just had. And if you have any suggestions for us to improve, please let us know, teachers. I would like to see you all on camera again, teachers. If it is possible, you could please turn on your cameras. And anything that you would like to share and let us know. Thank you so much for turning on the cameras also. Anfal ma'am, Kavya ma'am, Rajni ma'am. Thank you so much for that. And Anfal ma'am, I'm really sorry for the mistake.
No, ma'am, it's okay because of the name, I guess.
I guess I read it in a hurry and maybe I replied quickly.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Anfal, yes.
Right. So where are you from, Anfal ma'am?
I'm from Kashmir.
Kashmir. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, ma'am. So I
Thank you,
think
ma'am, for your time.
thank you so much for your time as well, ma'am. You've been there and you've been answering so many questions. And it's always great to see when teachers put in the efforts. I think you all have been to the school. You've been working for the whole day and put in all your energy into school. But yet you are here for the webinar and you are putting in so much energy into it. You are constantly replying me and you are constantly asking questions if there are any. So that itself is a great thing, I would say. And I personally enjoy these webinars, I would say. We have these webinars for you on YouTube, teachers. So you can always go back to the YOLO app channel and you will be able to see these webinars. Thank you so much for your time, efforts, and patience, teachers. Again, I had a great time having these webinars with you. So hope to meet you again very soon in another webinar. Thank you so much, teachers. Have a wonderful time ahead and do fill out the feedback form. Hope to meet you again very soon. Bye-bye, teachers. Take care.